you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Cheers.
How are you?
I'm doing really well, actually.
You gotta drink and look into each other's eyes when
You're
we
right.
cheers.
You're right. I'm sorry. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're locked in. Now
We
we're ready
are.
to go. So yeah, everything's good for you?
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Everything's
Busy
good.
week?
It has been a busy week.
Okay.
It has. I've got a couple styling gigs, nothing crazy, but it's been a busy week.
Okay. Cool.
Page
Right.
beats. Buckets.
So with your busy weeks and all that, how do you maintain, like, keep making sure that you're filling up your own cup and staying centered and all that?
Ooh.
Because the work don't stop.
The work never stops.
Exactly.
And then the reality of it all, it's like, it's been a tricky season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, like, you know, when the start of the year comes and everyone's always like, it's a new year, like, we're going to make all the money in the world, we're going to do this, everything's going to go right. And we're treading water right now, which I always like to say, and it feels like a flow. Yeah. But I feel like I'm easing into it, I'm taking my time, I'm not, like, rushing anything at all, and, you know, moving in the right direction.
Treading water is a good place to be in. It's safe and it's peaceful.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
You can grow weary treading water after a while.
Yeah, so, you tend to get lost a little.
Exactly.
Then you lose yourself. Because I did, the other day, I was like, God, it's April. Mm-hmm. That's scary.
Yeah, no, it is.
Because in January, I was terrified. Wow. Like in January, I was like, all right, like this is a new pivot for me. Okay. We're going to make 2024 something different. Yeah. And for whatever reason, I just was like, okay, and then I looked up and I was like, okay, it's April. Yeah. We haven't shifted in the direction.
Right. Which is okay. And I hope you're giving yourself grace with that.
I am.
But I do want to ask, if it's not too personal, what were some shifts that you were hoping to bring into the new year that aren't work related?
Ooh, that are not work related. Yeah, because work related tends to take like
it takes precedence over everything. And we're not here to talk about that.
But family.
Okay.
Family.
Yeah.
My family's up in the Bay Area.
Okay.
But as I just mentioned to you, I have a massive family. Yes. So when I say family, I don't even just mean like my, close immediate family, like not just my brother, my mom, and my dad, but I also mean like my grandmother, my aunts and uncles, and my cousins. Yeah. And it's taking the time to truly connect with them. Mm-hmm. I think that we take for granted a lot of times how much we have time to spend with them.
100%.
And it would just be nice to actually spend more time.
You're gonna do that more. Yeah.
I've lived in LA for, since 2011.
Oh, wow.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't have family here.
Right.
So it's one of those things where I'm always just like, where do I find the time? And if it's through a phone call or if it's going to go visit them, like, I should do that more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I encourage you. I mean, you were just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Due to an accident.
Exactly. Not on the best of circumstances, but sometimes those things bring us to our family. But I feel you on that, because I think I am the same, as I was also just telling you. Like, after school, like, I never kind of went back home, and I lived my life out on the road, per se, in the sense of, like, just going from place to place, wherever that may be. I lived in Atlanta for a bit, and then did end up going back home during COVID for not even a year, and then went to New York, and then am now obviously here in LA. But throughout all of that, it was like no home. Like, maybe holidays, and even the holidays started to get slimmer and slimmer. I remember my first holiday away from home. It was Thanksgiving, and I was literally like, I'm gonna come home. Like, I always go home for Thanksgiving, and then it was just like, I think it was like just a rough season, and I was just like, I don't really feel like taking this flight. It's Thanksgiving. My family's not big, so I was like, this isn't something I feel like I need to do. Ooh. And one of my closest friends, her name is Jessie, she also was the same way. She was like, no, I don't go home for holidays. Like, I just be chilling.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and funny enough, we're from the same area. Okay. So, we're just talking and whatever. And I was like, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? She was like, nothing. And I was like, you want to just cook and, like, hang out? She's like, yeah, sure. I wasn't going to do anything anyway. So I literally went to her house and we made Thanksgiving dinner, and like a couple of her friends like stopped through, you know,
Okay.
like
Yep.
the
Yep. I've
Thanksgiving
done
train,
this. Yep.
you
Yep.
know what I'm
Yep.
saying? We just kind of go from house to house. So
Yeah.
a couple of her friends and mutuals of mine as well stopped by for a little bit and hung out, but it was just like us two, and it was just a vibe, like, you know, and it was, you know, all platonic and stuff, but it was just like so cool to just be like, okay. I mean, it was
You can
cool
get
to
comfortable
know
in
that
that
I can,
nature.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh wow, like I could do this. Like this is cool. I can still feel the love and everything that I would want in this space. And then it got comfortable, and it was just like, what about my family though? And it hasn't been until this past year, and I would say a lot of it is due to me having like my son, but I've just like missed my family a lot.
I do too.
Especially my brother. Like we're 6 years apart, as I just like told you before we got going, but I like.
And are you guys close at 6 years apart or distant?
So it's hard to say because I feel like we're close, but I know that we're not. And it's because of the distance. Like, we are close. We can talk about anything. It's just, we're not talking all the time.
Yes.
And that's the part that eats me alive, because that's how I maneuver in my relationships.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm really close with somebody, we're talking all the time. Like, I have a best friend, his name's Aaron. We talk all the time. Like, almost every day.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, who you know, literally every day, actually. Like, Silas, like Carlos, like my closest friends, we talk like so often, and we make it intentional to spend time with each other often. And it just hasn't been that, you know, with him. And sometimes it makes me emotional, because I'm just like, dang, I really like want this relationship with my brother, and especially because we did have that at one point. And then, you know, once college hit, it was started a little bit in high school, but once college hit, it was a wrap. It was just like, you know, we were almost like single kids. You know, it's just like we didn't get to spend any time together.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about his high school experience. Like,
same.
Almost nothing.
Yeah.
And it kind of hurts me because I know that he went through some stuff in high school that he hasn't told me about.
See, and that is a little unsettling, because that's how I am with my brother.
Exactly.
Like, we're distant.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's so tough, but we're total opposites. Like, a lot of people don't even know I have a brother. Right. So they're like, wait, you have a brother? Like, that's kind of cool. What does he look like?
Yeah, right? No, literally.
I'm like, we're not the same.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like the super social, active, like all over social media, Like, I've been like that all my life.
Yeah.
And my brother, on the other hand, is like an anime kid. Like, he's
like
nerdy. Yeah. He's gonna kill me. But like, he's like super nerdy in the house, and like, we're distant. We don't have, you know, the same even priorities when it comes down to a lot of things.
For sure.
But my dad, my stepdad, who my mother married, is a youth pastor.
Wow,
and so growing up, he was always like, you got to be close with your brother. You got to be close with your brother.
That's important.
It was so important for us. Like, growing up, I was like, that's who we needed to have in our life to kind of like create that relationship. Yeah. And so I think about him often. So when the accident happened, and I was like, oh, I gotta go see my brother. Man. I gotta go see my brother. Wow. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you got to do that. How's your heart now that you've gotten to spend some time with your family, as you've been yearning it from the start of the year till now? How's your heart?
A little better.
Okay.
A little better. I think it's also so weird to like think about the age that I'm at, right? Like, I'm 35 now, and so I always think about that, like, am I going to be able to take care of my parents? You know, that unsettling feeling of like, if my grandmother needs something, am I going to be there for her? And they've always taken care of me. So like, now it's my time to kind of return the favor. Yeah. And I'm like, how am I going to do that? Are they going to move to LA? Like, what are they going to do if I move to the East Coast? Are they going to come to the East Coast? Right. And you never really realize, like, how do I keep myself in order to be able to then provide for my family? And I understand that, like, God's, you know, got the answers for a lot of those questions that you might have, but I'm terrified. I'm terrified because, and I'm sure you go through this too, because you've actually started a family. Right. But for me, I haven't. And like, as a single woman, I'm like, okay, you have no excuse to not be saving up for, you know, the unpredictable moments of life that may come.
For sure.
And that's where you really should be kind of putting your mindset into.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm happy. I speak to them every single day. My mom just got a puppy, and I was like, ew. She was like, meet your sister. I was like, that's not my sister. Like,
wait,
I'm that
let's
person.
set something straight. Yeah. No, actually, I am too.
It's a puppy.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to kind of like move forward and keep it, you know, resonating with my own heart to be like, you have to do more.
For sure.
And this will be your path. Yeah. This is what you need to focus on.
Does that pressure come from the pressure of like wanting to provide for your family? Does that come from being the eldest? Does that come from being a woman? Is it a culmination of like kind of all of it?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
I think being the eldest, not only as the older sister of my mom's, but I'm the oldest of the 13 grandchildren. I know. God, there might even be more like, now. I don't even remember. But I'm the first.
Yeah.
I'm the first.
Yeah. So you like feel this pressure, like get it right. And
do it. And I'm definitely the Beyonce of the family. Yeah. So it's like, you know, the reality of it is like, girl, you better get some bread so that you can bring it home.
You're supposed to be the one.
Yeah.
And is this pressure that you put on yourself, or like does your family add to that at all?
They add to it.
Yeah.
They add to it. They know they add to it too.
Okay.
Because I have that family. I have like, so I'm half Filipino, half Black.
Okay.
And my Filipino side, every time I go home for every holiday, anyone's birthday, I'm like, so, Nak, when are you going to have a baby? And like, when are you going to do this? And where's your man? And when are you... I'm like, I've brought enough home.
Yeah, no, literally.
Like, I'll bring the right one home this time.
Yes, absolutely.
So
that must be so hard. I mean, I'm the eldest too, but I think, you know, obviously our perspectives are different because, you know, as a man, the pressures of starting a family and doing all those things don't necessarily come until a little later. Sometimes not at all, depending on how the family is. So how do you wrestle with that? I mean, you mentioned you being single and things like that. Is that something that weighs heavy on you also? If you don't mind going in the direction?
It hasn't.
Yeah.
But I think now it's starting to like, in my mind, I'm like, this is something that I should question.
Okay.
In different ways.
Yeah.
Not even, you know, I'm like, I'm having fun. Like, you know, I kind of love to just explore life.
Absolutely.
And I love to travel.
Yes.
And I love to travel alone.
Yeah.
So there is that want to.
Yeah.
But I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm okay for now. And I think my family doesn't apply pressure on that at all. Good. I have cousins that have had babies. So my grandmother does have her great-grands.
That's great.
That she loves.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But they want one. I'm like, I don't know, guys. But
yeah. So outside of your family, is there anything else that you've been striving for this year, or anything that you may be battling in this current season as the year has started and we're moving into, you know, just a new season of life, you know, and there's challenges. Like for me, for example, you know, as we talked about it, like, you know, I'm about to go away for work, and that's been weighing, you know, pretty heavy on my heart. It's something that I've been battling internally for a multitude of reasons. You know, it's like, one, this isn't my end-all be-all. So it's like, how much more do I want to invest in it? And then two, it's pulling me away from my family, which is my biggest fear. Once I got into this industry, I told myself, I was like, when I have a family, I'm done, because I see what it does to families.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you may not know this, but like my mom's a costume designer.
Oh,
so,
I did not know that.
So like I grew up in the industry.
Okay.
And also kind of grew up, I don't want to say this like so strongly, but without a mother sometimes, you know, because she'd be gone for months for work. And like, it would break me. Like, I'd be with my dad, like just crying, like, I miss my mom, I want to see my mom, all the things.
Yeah.
And, you know, he did a really, really great job with us, him and my grandma when she was, my grandma's passed now, but him and my grandma did a great job while she was away and stuff like that. But once I got old enough and wise enough to kind of understand that and to do that heart check and that internal kind of like breakdown of why I may feel certain ways and why, you know, how things affect me, I just recognize that, like, okay, I love this industry and I do like what I do. I do know that it's not my end all, like I mentioned, but at the head of it all I know that I do not want to be away from my family as long as this industry requires you to be. So that's a season like that right now. I'm just kind of like getting into the brink of that I know is about to put us through a really like a pretty heavy battle.
Yeah.
And the good thing is like it's not something that Touch and I haven't experienced, you know.
Yeah.
We've been together 4 years, married for almost 3.
Yeah.
And you know, I've worked. So, you know, we've experienced it with ourselves. And we know we kind of have a rhythm of like, okay, yes, it's gonna be hard for the first month and a half, 2 months, and then we'll be fine. We'll get into a rhythm, and everything will be good. But now with a baby, it's like, how are we supposed to, you know? Because, you know, obviously it's still about how we feel, but it's now gonna be like, Shepard's not gonna see his daddy all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and him and I have such a good relationship. Like, I love him so much, and I see how much he loves me.
Yeah. And
it just breaks my heart to like think that there may be a morning that he wakes up and is like, I haven't seen him. Like, what's going on?
But you did speak on, you know, that known fact that you have of being the man in the household, in your own household. Yes. And how important that is. And I know Tosh, you know, in her heart as well. Like, God, I could cry of like knowing that, you know, that's what she wants for you. Like she also sees your passions, but then it's also the industry that we work in, right? Yeah. It's like we swallow it. You can put a timestamp on it. You can know that like this is the season for that, and then be able to kind of shift your life around that. Like know that. Yeah. So then that way it's like, bring all that home and then put the timestamp on it where you know Shep will know when you're going to be away, and you can, you know, frame it around that. Yeah.
You know, we're working on it. You know, like you just mentioned, I told you earlier that, like, I really felt God just releasing a lot of peace onto me and letting me know that, you know, although I am the physical man of the house, you know, he holds that spiritual place. And as, you know, there's the Bible verse about, you know, a good father and how much they want to, a good physical father and how much they want to give to their children.
Exactly.
You know, and if we as humans want that, you can only imagine what he wants for us.
Exactly.
So I know that I can trust him in this season and in this process, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be hard.
Yeah.
So just preparing for that.
A couple humps. Yeah. Even emotionally, right?
Yeah,
like,
and I'm super
you
emotional.
know you'll be drained. Yeah. Like, but you just have to like fight through it. That's the Goliath.
Yeah, 100%.
It really is. I feel like I'm definitely like dealing with imposter syndrome heavy. Heavy. And it was so weird because if you would have asked me this last year, in this moment last year, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. But it's so, I think I've taken a second and taken it back and realized that like even in the evidence of success, whatever that means to you, enough is just never enough.
Never.
And when I sit back and I really tell myself that, I'm like, you have the evidence. Quote unquote, right? Like you have it. Through social, people think you're good all the time. And you look back at your portfolio, at everything that you've done, and you're like, was that enough?
What did I get from this?
What did I get from it? Did you appreciate it in the time that you were there? Probably not.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, and that's through everything in life, right? That's through the moments that you may have spent with friends that have passed away or friends that you're no longer even friends with. I've connected with, God, I tell this story all the time, but one of my best friends in the whole world, like we were best friends in high school and then we broke up for 10 years, I like to call it. 10 years. And even in that 10-year timestamp, she reached out to me twice and I wasn't strong enough to respond. And it took everything in me. And then I moved to New York and she lived in New York and I cried. I bawled. I was like the only person that I want was her.
Wow.
It was crazy.
I went through something similar.
It was insane.
That's crazy. Now that is wild.
You did?
Yeah, it wasn't, so we didn't get to the point of a breakup, me and my best friend, but we got close.
Yeah.
It felt like it was like we were at like the line. It's like if we take another step, it's
Oof.
like it'll just be what it is. And that's a hard thing.
Man, losing your best friend.
To do it like I mean, are you guys?
We are perfect now.
Okay.
It's as if the 10 years never happened.
Okay. But 10 years is a long time.
I know.
I want to say, like, I commend you on your humility because you just said something that I felt really strongly, and that was that you weren't strong enough to respond. And a lot of people won't take the responsibility and accountability to say that.
Yeah.
You know, they'll beat around the bush, like, yeah, she reached out to me twice, but, you know, it just didn't make sense. And but for you to say, like, you weren't strong enough in that space to be able to respond to maybe reconcile, you know, what you guys had broken.
I wasn't there.
Is powerful. And for you to recognize that is very powerful.
And I knew it. And it wasn't even like on some petty, whatever. It had nothing to do with that. It was like, it did feel like, and I've told her this, it felt like God touched my shoulder and was like, now's not the time. And when we sit back and she's a digger. So she'll try to be like, so in the 10 years that we weren't friends, like, who'd you date? What did you do?
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. How was work? Like, who was there for you? Because I should have been. And like, we have moments where we kind of missed, right? That we'll probably relive. Like she had a child and it kind of hurts me sometimes because I'm like, I wasn't there.
Yeah, wow.
And him and I are like this.
I love that.
So, you know, there are those moments. Yeah. But I sit back and I'm just like, it's okay.
Of course.
Like, it actually made more sense for her to not be there in those moments. And that's the time that I feel like God touched me and was like, it's not the time.
Yeah.
Because the pain that you're currently going through in this point in your life, she should not be here to witness.
Wow.
Because you guys would have probably at that point broken as well.
Yes. Wow.
Even harder, probably.
Wow. Yeah.
There probably wouldn't have been a reconcile moment for us. And so I was like, I'm actually glad she wasn't there to witness any of it, you know?
It's crazy that God is that good.
Yeah.
But so before I ask you more questions, I'll dive into my portion of that.
Please.
Yeah, it was like, you know, like I mentioned, we were kind of at this kind of threshold, or at least I know I was. I think he was too, because we spoke on it. But our thresholds, I think, were a little different. You know, he was at a threshold where I think the amount of change that was happening in my life was a little unsettling. And for me, despite all the change that I was going through, he's the person that I needed most outside of my wife. And I was just like, and he just wasn't there. And I held on to a lot of it, you know, being a man, being a black man, you know, there's a stigma, you know, everything's cool. So I was holding on to a lot that I wasn't expressing to him, and it got to a point, because he doesn't even live here, but it got to a point where he was here for a while on some work, and he was like, you know, while I'm in town, like, I want to go to lunch. I was like, okay, cool, like, let's do it, you know. And we went to lunch, and Tosha was there because there were some things that involved her and things like that, and we sat down, and I just expressed to him everything that I had been feeling. Like, you know, I cried, you know. It was because that's how, and I didn't know that I was going to get to that level, and I also didn't know until that moment how much I really did need him. Because up until then, I was like, even telling Tosha, I was like, no, it's cool, like, I know him. Like, this is just him. Yeah. I know him. Yeah. It's fine. I expect it. It's whatever. And it wasn't until we were sitting down having that conversation, and when I was expressing to him where my heart was, that I was just like, oh, shoot. Like, I have been playing myself this whole time because I wasn't comfortable enough to say it to you because I didn't know how he was going to receive it. And
did he receive it well?
Oh, really well. Yeah. Yeah. And he had some things to share as well. And, you know, we just were able to get it out, and we're absolutely better because of it. So I 100% understand
Yeah.
that space. You know, obviously we didn't have such a gap, and I'm grateful for it, because I don't know if guys are different. I don't know if we would have been able to come back.
Guys are different.
Like, so it doesn't, you know, it's funny because like for guys, it doesn't take much for us to get back
at all.
But once it's broken, we're kind of like, oh, I'm good.
Oh, we're good. Yeah.
And for girls, it's like you guys are easier to break, but it takes a little bit longer for you guys to come back.
And when we break, we break.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things that I feel like as women right now. I tell a lot of my girlfriends, even ones that like fight with their friends, I'm the person now that's like, don't let it go too long.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah.
Don't, because you're going to feel it.
Absolutely.
Like, that is your sister.
Yeah.
In every way.
Yeah.
In form. Like, they know you better than you know yourself.
Absolutely.
You know? So it's like, I do wish women kind of had that bond a little bit more. Like, men always, I feel like so many boys have, like, they're, like, guy friends from high school and middle school. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, how?
That's crazy. I don't have any.
You don't have any?
No friends from middle school or high school.
Got it.
Not a single one.
So how did you two meet?
We met in college.
Okay, in college. Got it.
So we met in college. Still school-based, but we met in college.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's been almost 11 years now, I think, something like that. 11, 12 years, something like that. We've been friends for a while. So then I think that's why, I think for both of us, because we are both of each other's longest friends.
Wow.
So, and I witnessed a breakup between him and another one of our mutual friends.
Oh.
So for him, he was like, yo, because he was telling me, he was like, bro, if it was going to go there, like, it was going to be F it for me. Like, I was just going to, like, he was like, we would have went there and it would have hurt really bad, but I would not have let anyone else get close, like as close to me as you are. He was like, I just wouldn't have.
See, and that's where it's like God gives you your community, your people.
100%.
That is your group.
Yes.
That is who you're supposed to be aligned with. Exactly. That's who you're going to live your life with.
Exactly.
Like, I know who my five are, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and there's a lot of them. I have tons of people that are always like, Brittany has too many friends. And I'm like, no, I have just the right amount
100%.
that live in every city in the world.
Yes.
So if I need to go, I'll go.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I'll go and visit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes us who we are, I think. And like even the breaks at time, I feel like really created growth for myself as well.
Yeah.
And it taught me how to be a better friend.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wouldn't skip a day if I could with her now. And it's always just so funny because my birthday was a couple weeks ago and I just did something like pizza and wine at like one of my friend's house.
Yeah.
Invited people to come in and out when they pleased. And she stayed on the phone on FaceTime on one of our other girlfriends.
The entire time.
3.5 hours. I was like, girl, you're nuts.
Because she couldn't be there.
She couldn't be there.
Wow.
And she was just like, I'm here.
I wish I could have done that because...
felt like COVID all over again.
Literally, right? My... Aaron, my best friend I was just speaking with, he just did like something monumental, in both of our opinions, but my opinion for sure, like something that just made me so proud of him. Aww. He got to work with a brand and do like just something really, really cool. And honestly, something that we would have never imagined, like because of the trajectory of like, you know,
careers.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, he studied nursing and all these things, and now he's like into fashion. And
all
this stuff.
Wow!
It's like crazy.
Congrats to him. I love that.
Right. So I couldn't be there, and it was he was, you know, did it. The brand brought him in to do this big event and all these things, and it was in Chicago, and more than anything, I wanted to show up for him, and I couldn't. Like I had work, and I couldn't do it. And it hurt me. To know that I couldn't be there, but I think it gave me comfort to know that he knows that if it were any other way, I would have been there. But it's funny because he told me, he was like, "Bro, if you showed up, like I probably would have cried."
Oh my God!
He's like, if you were there, I'm almost actually glad you didn't come because like if you were there, like I wouldn't have been able to hold it together. And I'm like, dang, bro, for real. He's like, bro, you're the reason. Like I'm even doing this. Like it's crazy. And I was just like, wow.
But that might be God's way of also saying that you guys have to celebrate that on your own.
Exactly. Yeah.
On a personal level.
Yeah, you're supposed to be here this weekend.
On a group level.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
Celebrate it.
We're gonna take that time for sure.
Good.
But I want to dive back into your feeling of an imposter syndrome.
Oh, goodness.
If that's okay. I just want to, talk to you more about what that looks like for you.
Yeah.
And maybe get a little bit more specific, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, it is one of those things where I feel like imposter syndrome for me is just the reality of realizing that like the life that I thought I lived isn't necessarily the life that I currently am truly like in existence.
Actually living. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And so it just feels like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel real. I never recognized how serious it was for me until I was too scared to actually do something. So like, I've been in front, I know we're not like talking work, but like, okay. I've been in front of the camera all my life, right? So I was a child model, first and foremost, but I fell in love with everything that happened behind the scenes. Like I was the little girl that was like, who's that woman in the back with the rack? And like, I want to stay with her and put on more clothes. And can I try on everything? And I was just that girl. And so the reality is like now in my life, I'm at a point where everything's at a standstill in terms of career. Like I'm a freelancer, so I still get jobs every now and then. But when it comes to telling my story,
yes, I know that all too well, but keep going.
I am so scared. When I know that God's whole point is for me to tell this so that I can help someone else.
Wow.
I don't know why I'm so scared to do it. And I take my time with it. And I've put in so much work and so much passion that now it's just like, just do it. Just do it. And I don't know what I'm afraid of. I honestly don't. Because it's like, it's all right there.
Yeah. Storytelling is huge, and it's so, it's a couple of things. It's scary.
Yeah.
But it's also so invigorating.
It is.
So important. And
it is.
I believe that everyone, no matter what you do, should have an opportunity to tell their story, and whatever the platform is, whether it's a film, whether it's a book, whether it's just having a conversation with somebody at a coffee shop. I think everybody deserves an opportunity to express themselves as thoroughly as possible. And you can only do that when you are able to tell your story and let other people in on what you may have experienced. For me, I struggled with that for a long time, because I think for me it was kind of the opposite a little bit, where I started behind the camera and I would see obviously like actors and all those things like with my film work, but not only that, like even when I first started Instagram, I would just see people expressing themselves, and I was just like, I want to do that. But at the same time, I have so many gifts and talents that are behind the camera, like behind the camera driven. Like I have aspirations to direct one day and do all these things, but I also have always had this like burning desire to like want to be front facing. Until recently, I still have it a little bit, but until recently, because with all the social media stuff and all that, I am front facing. But I think because I'm still not telling my story, it's not fulfilling. So because of that, it's pulled me back into wanting just to go back behind the camera, because it's like I would rather just be able to manipulate how other people tell their story, since I can't tell my own. And I think that's a little bit of why I started this platform, is so that not only do I get to tell my story in pieces, but I get to help other people tell theirs as well. So I think that, like I just mentioned, telling your story is something that you're going to find the time to do. And I want you to take your time in doing that. Patience is obviously virtue, as they say. But I think patience is honestly one of the most important things that we could ever experience, because when we're patient and when we take our time, God reveals so many things to us during that time.
Yeah.
I think that there's a time for everything. There's a season for everything. And I don't think, I mean, there's two ways that I feel about this. On one hand, I do feel like that we can miss our moments and opportunities sometimes. But at the same time, I think that we have to be really aligned with God, because we can mistakenly think that we're missing moments that aren't even designed for us. So as you were talking about having this desire and this like real urge, like tip of your tongue to want to tell your story, there's going to come a time and a place for it. And it's going to, I'd be remiss to say that you're not even going to realize you're doing it until you're halfway through.
Yeah.
Like that's how it's going to be.
That's how it's going to
feel. Because you're going to wreck, because it'll be all on him, you know? And then everything that you thought about in the past of, should I have tell my story then? Or should I have used that opportunity or this moment? Or why didn't that come together how I wanted it to? Because I saw myself telling my story in that moment. You'll be like, that's why it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be for this right here. Like that moment, whenever it happens, that's when it was supposed to happen. So
and that moment is for you.
Exactly.
Because I do realize that in the imposter syndrome effect of it all is, it's like, why is it that I'm willing to do something for someone else that I can't see for myself or do for myself?
Yes.
And the reality is even through it all, it's like God's sitting there telling you, like, look at your reflection, look at your reflection, look at the old version of you, the new version of you, the future version of you, and put it down on paper.
Yeah.
Like, do what it is that you're supposed to be doing for you.
So, since you mentioned putting it down on paper, how do you imagine, like, telling your story? Is it visual? Is it written? Is it, like...
Both.
Okay.
Both. It started as written.
Okay.
I was by myself. This is when I moved to New York. And I started writing. I started journaling. I started going through everything in life. I left a 8.5-year relationship. And I was like, it's time to write.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting on the train. I lived in Brooklyn. Took the A trip to wherever it could take me. I don't even know. I don't know New York like that. I will say I won't.
Right.
But took me to, I think, like Harlem or something crazy.
Yeah.
And I would just ride for 2.5 hours. And I would just write. Or on my phone at the time. I'm like, write. Then I'd come back, do the same thing. Write. Wow. I just had all the time in the world.
Yeah.
And then through COVID, I met a director and we sat and we wrote a pilot.
What?
And we've been in the position now that we're currently in development of 2 series. It is,
That's so cool.
I know. It honestly like gives me chills, and I'm so excited about it.
So when you were writing, was that the goal, or was it you just trying to express your feelings through journaling and, you know, trying to have a source to like output everything that was internal?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Okay.
It was definitely the goal because when I was, long story short, when I was at Nickelodeon back in the day, I always knew, I was like, there's something missing, right? And there is a TV show for women and women of color in particular, mixed race, vice versa, and one that needed that girlfriend effect,
right?
And that told the stories of like a real sisterhood,
right?
And so, obviously, I wasn't going to get that from a Nickelodeon standpoint, but I was like, I need to be able to write a series one day. And so that's just always been on the back of my mind.
Wow.
And so, when I moved to New York, and then I linked back up with my best friend of 10 years, and that's who the story is about. It's like...
And it just all kind of just starts spilling out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that.
So, are you still writing?
I'm still writing.
Okay.
Because in the current position that we're in, obviously, with television and film, we are transitioning to a book.
Yes.
So I am. Awesome. Yeah.
Now, is your...
So scary.
That does sound very scary. I'm not going to lie.
Very scary.
But I do want to, because as your writing has seemingly transitioned into work, as far as like your writing having a directive, do you still find opportunity and time to write for yourself? As far as like journaling for the sake of your heart and your mind, and making sure that you're filling your cup up as you're going into these workspaces?
So I think, I appreciate you for asking me that, because I think I have not taken that time to fill my own cup because I've been so worried about that. Right. But the reality is that they reflect one another.
Exactly.
In so many ways.
Exactly.
And I think that, like, I have been, I could cry. I literally have been so scared to pick up a pen. For many reasons. For
sure.
You know, to go back into the story that I'm trying to tell and to be like, I've already closed that book, we've developed it, we've done whatever, now I just need a writer to come in and blah, 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 blah. But the reality is I have to open the book.
You have to.
And I have to start writing for myself to be able to open that book again. And it's crazy because I get into these moments where, like, the ocean is my safe space.
Okay.
Right?
That's cool.
But it's scary at times because I do feel like I'm drowning at times as well. Okay. So sometimes I'm like, I like to face my fears. I'm that type of girl.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, let's go.
Yeah.
And visualize an ocean and see if you could really see yourself drowning in it. Because an ocean is bigger than what you can actually see.
For sure.
Right? And when you see that mirage in the water and you're like, okay, there's life that's a lot more deeper than what you're currently going through.
Yes.
And so it's like, for me, I have to sit and I have to go to a beach and I have to just write. And I have to get away.
Yeah.
I have to distance myself from, like, the I love LA, hate LA.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's that. It's that moment that I feel like God lately has been really honestly trying to guide me in the direction of just doing that and, like, fulfilling that cup.
Yeah.
So then that way everything else can kind of just flow.
Yeah. Is writing the only way that you fill your cup up? Like, is that kind of your thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's like, Brittany, you should probably go to therapy. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. My thing with therapy is
it because you will hear yourself telling your story?
Or I don't know if I'll tell my story.
Or you don't know if you'll be able to actually tell it for real.
Correct.
Yes, I get what you're saying.
You know?
Yeah.
To someone that I don't know?
Yeah.
Like,
that's fair.
You know?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
If you can tell us open up a therapy moment, let me know. If you guys want to be therapists.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know if I would. I don't know. And I know that it takes the right time and the right place. Sure. But, like, for now, God has been my savior. Like, He's been that through it all.
Yeah. I was going to say, do you think that derives from anything in particular, or is it just kind of where you feel like you are, like, emotionally and mentally, like, that you not so secure with telling someone random, degree or not, like the things that you're battling? Or is it, like, fear derived of, like, having to fight that battle?
Yes.
You gotta fight, sis.
I know.
You gotta fight. You have to fight.
I know. It's the only way to heal.
I was just gonna say, if you don't pick your battle, your battle will pick you.
Will pick you.
And
it sure
you don't
will.
want the latter. You'll still find your healing on both. You'll find it both ways. You absolutely will, because as I mentioned, God is that good. You will absolutely find your healing both ways.
Yeah.
However, in my opinion, I'm not that educated, but in my opinion, I feel as though you will find much more satisfaction in the journey of picking your battle rather than it picking you.
That's very true.
Because when it picks you, it's not going to be convenient. And
it never is.
It never is.
It never is.
And to be fair, picking your battle doesn't feel convenient either, because it's like, okay, when do I find the time?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Which is fair. You know, we're all busy. We all have things going on. But as I've been mentioning and kind of just speaking to, it's important to make sure that you're doing the things that are keeping your heart in order.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't give yourself those opportunities and make room for those opportunities, then you will find yourself maybe even at an amazing space, and you won't be able to enjoy it, especially with everything that's going on in your life.
Yeah.
You're going to find yourself in a space, and everybody's going to be looking at you,
yeah,
and congratulating you and doing all the things, and all you're going to be sitting here thinking about is
that battle.
It's like, what's going on with me right now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I've thought about that often.
Yeah. And I can say it from experience. I can say it from stories that I've heard of others.
Yeah.
That it's so true. It's so true. I think that for me, I think even being here sometimes, being in this home and being, having a wife and a son, you know, especially in our demographic and in our culture, our current culture, you know, I get a lot of praises for it. And up until about 6 to 8 months ago, I was in a really hard place. I was severely unhappy.
Wow.
I was just battling so much that I couldn't even put into words, because I knew that I had to go fight something, and I wouldn't do it. And for me, fighting is, and it's different for everybody, but for me, the way I fight is, I set aside intentional time to be still, so that I am not only talking to God, but I can listen. And I wasn't doing that because I was afraid. I was afraid because I had felt let down in my relationship with God. I was in a space where I didn't feel as though I was confident in my relationship with God. I think I knew that he was good, and, you know, I was doing all the things and telling myself all the things that would make me feel good enough.
Yeah.
But to go outside and be personable and do all the things.
Yeah.
But I was not in my home. I was the worst. And it wasn't until, and I mean, Tasha will tell you, I was like, she would look at me and be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I would be like, nothing. I'm fine. Nothing. I'm fine. What are you talking about? I'm fine. And she was saying right through me. And a conversation with a friend sparked it, and then I had to do it, and it beat me up.
Yeah.
I was in tears. I didn't know what was going on. I was just like, why? Why do I feel like this? Why am I hurting so much? And I can't even say it was inconvenient, because I didn't really have that much going on, but that was also a part of it. I was just, because I was like, God, I'm here in LA, and like I have my family, and I want to provide more. I want more money. I want more this. I want more that. It was just things, you know, like what we mentioned before. It was just like, you know, you do all the things, and then you look back, and was it fulfilling?
Yeah.
So I was chasing the things. I was just like, and yeah, my friend Curtis and I had a conversation. He was like, Jay, you're not being a husband right now. And that's the start of it. Like, because you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to check on yourself. He's like, I'm listening to you right now, and the way that you're talking don't even sound like you.
Right.
And I'm like, what you mean? Like, no, this is like, I was like, yeah, of course it don't sound like me, like, because I can get like this sometimes. And he was like, that's not you.
Wow.
And I'm just like, and then as I kept talking and talking and talking, it just all just, whew. And I was just like, oh my God. And we got off the phone, and it just kept coming, and it kept coming. And I was just like, I feel so broken amongst so much good happening in my life. And it's because I allowed the things to take precedence over my own heart and my relationship with God. And like, I remember Tosha was like at an event or whatever, and Shepherd was with her parents, It was honestly happened like on the best day it could possibly happen.
Oh.
And she was trying to call an Uber and it wasn't working. And I was just like, I'm gonna go pick you up.
Yeah.
Mind you, she was so mad at me, like all the things, because we just weren't in a good space.
Yeah.
Like, I was not a good person. Like I just was not in my
you were
right.
A good person. You just weren't.
I just was not in exactly. Yeah. I was not being me. And you know, we'd been fighting and all these things, and she was just like, I was just like, I'm gonna come get you. And she was like, fine, whatever. And then I was like, I'll be there in 15 minutes. And the minute I saw her and she got in the car, I cried. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. I've been such an asshole. I've been da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And she just met me with so much compassion and like so much love. And it honestly like, it like shook me because the Telsha that I know, I wasn't expecting that response. Not because she isn't that person, but because we had been fighting so much.
Right.
So I expected because you were
yeah.
You know?
Especially from a partner sometimes.
And the first thing she said to me was, it's okay, I forgive you. And I was like, oh my God. And I was just like, God, you're so good, because I had been neglecting you for so long and neglecting what I knew I needed to be doing. I knew I needed to be doing it. I knew it.
Yeah.
Every single day, I felt this like urge to like do the things that was going to get my heart right and fill up my own cup. And I wasn't doing it, and I was not doing it. And I kept neglecting it every single day. I'll do it later. I'll do it later.
Yeah.
And then go sleep. Wake up in the morning.
I'll do it
I could do it. I could do it now, but I'm hungry. I'm gonna make breakfast. Then the day goes on, and then it's evening, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, and then I get on my phone, and then 3 hours go by, and it's just like every day was something.
Yeah.
And I got to a place that it got so bad, and I was just like, I can never get here again.
Yeah.
And probably will, respectfully, because I just know the waves of life.
The ups and downs of life. Yeah.
I know that eventually I may get back into that place, but it is my hope that I will continually remind myself through my own experiences, but also through my conversations with friends like yourself, to encourage not only myself but others to know that the best thing that you can do for yourself is outside of everything that is a part of your like routine that helps you, that is attached to the things that you feel like you're supposed to be doing.
Right, right.
The work and all the dinners and the parties and the
but
things
separate
that
yourself
it's like
be able to do
I just got to be okay to just be like, no, I'm not going to that.
Seriously.
I just got to that point.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
And to feel okay and just be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even in the right place to. No, I'm not doing that. I don't have the energy. I'm not in the right space to go and be around all these people and have these conversations. I'm just not. No. I'd rather be at home with my family, or I'd rather be at home sometimes by myself and be pouring into myself.
Yeah.
So.
And that pouring into myself moment has definitely been like a start to finish for me. It's like, for me, it's always about planting the seed in the soil, right? Which I feel like God understands that. And our relationship is very, like, I used to only go to him when I was in doubt.
Wow.
I used to only go to him when something was wrong, or I didn't understand it. And it was just like, oh, and it was never like a fight.
Yeah.
It was always a question.
Right.
It was always a why me. It was always a why at this point did this happen. But I found myself calling on him only to, I guess, mourn in a sense, versus going to him for true blessings too, right?
Yeah.
And to him, he can smile at you.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget.
Right. Absolutely.
Where you got that from. And it's like, that's why it takes the seeds that you have to currently plant to be able to, then grow the flower that you really want to become. And it's like, it's those moments for me. So for you to tell me to like remind myself to fill my cup, it's very important to check in with myself, even because I always tend to check out.
Yeah.
Like, I think with everything else that's always going on, like you said, with Los Angeles alone, with like my first priorities being my family, or, you know, my finances, my family, my work life, my friends. Like, I probably care more about my friends than I do myself.
Yeah.
You know,
no, it's
at
true.
times.
It gets there.
And yeah, checking with myself is definitely something I need to work on.
It's also because it can get confusing sometimes, because I think sometimes we feel that the things that we do enjoy are doing that. Yeah. And it's not always the case.
No. And not I think when you wake up the next morning and you're like, ah.
Yes, exactly. So it's like, do they fill us? Sure. But you'll never be full from it. No. You'll never be full from or anything that you're doing with other people. It's always got to be,
you got to start within.
Exactly. You know, in church, they they talk about, they use the cross as like a framework or like a metaphor. And they say like your vertical relationship is how you keep your horizontal relationships centered. And like when I felt that explained to me, I was just like, wow, that's so good, because if this isn't right, then how am I supposed to give? How am I supposed to give myself and spread myself if I can't do this properly? So I just wanted to, I know that went on for a while, but I just wanted to encourage you. I wanted to encourage you to like make sure that you're taking that time outside of work, outside of your friends, outside of your family, to check on yourself, and to like make sure that like Brittany's okay, to make sure that Brittany's heart is okay, and to make sure that although there are things that you have yet to battle, that you know are coming, that you're as prepared as possible. So that even if you don't pick the time and the day, that when it comes, you're like, okay, I was a little more prepared for this than I thought, because I have been doing X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? So as you mentioned, there are battles that you know that you have yet to experience. Are there any in the past that you've gone through that you're able to speak on, that you're happy that you've made it on the other side of?
I'm like, plenty. Like too many, probably, to be quite honest.
I mean, that's real.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of battles that I've faced, and I, we all have our trials and tribulations of life.
For sure.
But I sit there and I wonder at times. The reason why I paused was because I was like, have you actually gotten through that battle, or are you still facing it?
Wow.
And that's through healing.
For
right?
sure.
So like some people know this, many don't, depending on if you watched a series that I was on. But I was in a very abusive relationship in high school. And although, I'm way out of high school.
For sure.
I'm 35 now. But it's like how that relationship set the precedence for the rest of my life, and any relationship that I fell into afterwards.
Right.
And then recognizing the generational patterns of my mother and my grandmother and what they've been through. That's when I sit back and I kind of realize that like those are battles that I need to face. Because what I went through back then may have been something for that time and for that moment.
Right.
But if I didn't recognize it then, how can I recognize it now?
Yeah.
And so like, those are things that I'm currently facing. Those are things like, and you have those trauma moments.
For sure.
I'm a trauma bonder.
Yeah.
Like I'm always that person in my friend circles and my family. And it's like, I just never want to be the person that didn't heal from it.
Right.
And whether a court document says that you've healed, or whether someone else has laid their hands on you and told you that you've healed, there's
that
still
internal.
There's a lot of work to be done.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of prayer that goes with it. Like I think, yes, I'm able to live through it on a day-to-day, but the replays still happen. And those are the moments that I'm like, if I could take every little girl's hand and make them recognize that, like, you don't have to be in something that you don't want to be in.
Wow.
And if you can see the signs early, you should, try to leave. Like,
Yeah.
That's my main goal in life, is like to provide at least the knowledge of like, there are other people there that are willing to listen.
So, I mean, that's what I think that that's the largest part that's important about telling a story is for others.
Yeah.
Because although you will find your own healing through that, you'll notice how many other people will either be healed or have the tools to not have to experience it.
Yeah.
I definitely want to commend you in recognizing where you are, because I think that is definitely a big step and a big portion of it. Recognizing that although you have been through a lot within those battles, and you are so far removed from some of them, but at the same time recognizing that you may not be where you see yourself being, or where you can be as far as the healing goes.
Exactly.
And there was as I was like preparing for our conversation earlier a little bit, there's a Bible verse that I feel like God placed on my heart, and I want to reference it real quick. And I'm only pulling up my phone because I want to make sure that it's like correct.
Please.
But it's Romans 5, 3 through 5. And it says, "We can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance. And endurance develops strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope of salvation. And this hope will not lead to disappointment, for we know how dearly God loves us, because he has given us the Holy Spirit to fill our hearts with his love."
Wow.
So, like, when he dropped that on me, I was like, I was like, yeah, what's that verse? Like, I know it, but I don't know where it is. And he helped me find it. And I think one thing within this that I want to really, really touch on and make sure that you feel and understand is the top of verse 5 that says, "And this hope will not lead to disappointment."
Right.
And I want you to know, if you don't already know, that you telling your story, whenever that time may be, will not lead you to disappointment.
Yeah.
It will not. God's not going to let go of you once you get there. And if that is where the fear comes in for you to not do it, well, like I said, I'm not sure. But if that's where the fear comes into play, I want to encourage you to know that he's going to hold your hand through all of it.
Yeah.
He's going to be there for you and with you through all of it. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to be triggering.
Right.
And you are going to have to relive. You are going to have to relive a lot of it. But you're going to have to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to help you to get through it. And getting through it is the only way that you're going to develop the endurance, and your character is going to build, and all those things are going to, the only way all those things are going to, those characteristics are going to hit is if you go through it.
Yeah.
And he's going to have you in his hands the entire time. I promise you. I promise you.
That verse. Wow.
Yeah, I'll send it to you when we're
please,
finished.
Please.
But, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I got that out, and I felt like that was a good time.
That was incredible. That was a perfect time. Thank you.
Of course.
No, that was really, really good. Yeah. I needed to hear that. I need to hear all of it, because it's like, it is those moments of like a fear that I think that we all face on a day to day.
No, and I mean, it's real, and I can only speak on it because I've experienced it. You know, I've been afraid of what it looks like to walk in my purpose, in a sense.
Right.
You know, I think that's why it took me so long to even do this, this series. It's a lot of why I've taken my time on a lot of things. You know, we talked about patience. I think that there's a really thin line between like being patient and being afraid to actually move.
Yeah, battling with time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that, I have been there, being just afraid.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't even know if, and maybe this is a part of the imposter syndrome that we were talking about. It's just like, I don't even know if I have what it takes to do this.
Right.
It's like, I know you've placed this thing on my heart and I have this strong burning desire to do these things, but I don't know if, like, how am I the one that's supposed to do these? Like, how am I the one that's supposed to do this? And, I think that, there's, everything happens within its timing, as we said, but it's gonna, it's coming. And breaking through that fear is a very hard thing to do.
Right.
But when we do it, we recognize, like, oh shoot, like, this is why, this is why I was supposed to do this.
I think the hard part that we face too is the realization that it's like we have to do it. We can't depend on anyone else to do it for us.
Exactly.
It has to come from us.
Exactly.
So it's like, if we never tell that story, it's just never going to be told.
Yeah.
So are you sure you're willing to like sit with that? And I'm just not. Like,
I think, no, same. I think
I'm not.
One thing that I kind of fight with sometimes is, like, in church, or maybe it's just in Christianity in general, they try and do this reverse psychology kind of thing. And it's like, if you don't do what God has called you to do, he's going to give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I get that. And yes, he may use someone else to to do what he's called you to do.
Yep.
However, there's only one person that can tell the story the way that
I can.
You can.
Yeah.
And it's because he's designed it to be that way.
Yeah.
So to your point, we have to do it.
Yeah. We
have to. And if we don't, I don't know what happens. I hope I never find out what happens. But
no,
if we don't, it's not just about somebody else doing it in their own way.
In their own way,
right? It just doesn't happen.
No, it just doesn't.
And your life and the way that you know it will change forever because of it.
Yeah.
And like I just mentioned, I don't ever want to have to experience that
at all. And it's funny that you say that, because even like through career-wise, right? It's like I've sat back and watched a lot of stylists become stylists. And I remember being that girl back in 2017, 2018, being like, that's going to be me. This is going to be me. There's going to be a front-facing version of this.
Yes.
I'll dress the celebrities on the carpet.
Yes.
I'll do this. I'll do that.
Yes.
I'll be on the cover of Hollywood Reporter, like before stylists were even on the cover. And it was like, this was the dream. So now you sit back and you look at the dream being done by others. But then it's like, you walked away from that dream.
Yeah.
I knew it. I can stand firm and say that I didn't want that role at that time. It wasn't right for me in that portion of my life. And I wasn't really willing to like fight for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, to see others do it now, do I sit back and scroll and be like, ah, it should have been me. Should have been me. But there's the other part of it that God's like, no, your story is different.
Yeah, that wasn't for you. I'm
but
so
when
glad
you're
you said
ready,
that. I'm so glad you said that.
To do it, do it.
I'm so glad you said that, because I have dealt with my fair share of that.
Yeah.
Because, I myself, just to touch on, obviously work a little bit, because that's what we're doing right now. But, from styling sometimes, and, I was a photographer at one point, and, I touched on all these different creative avenues that, like I mentioned, I've been given gifts and talents to do. And there was always something that was just like, I would reach a point and I would be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Same.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then it would be like, well, if somebody calls me, sure, like, I'm freelance, it's whatever. Like, yes, I'll do it, fine.
Yep.
But it would get to a point where it's like, I will not be defined by this. And I battled with it so much, because I would then, like you just mentioned, be on the social and do all the, and be out and do all the things. And I would see these people in these places, in these positions, and I'd be like, did I drop the ball?
did I do something
like,
wrong? Did I miss my boat? Did I
miss my window?
Calling?
Did I step away from something I was supposed to be doing?
Right.
And it's not until we do the things that align us with God that we gain that confidence to know, like you just mentioned, bro, sis, that wasn't for you
at all. And that's okay.
Yes, because the thing is that, and sometimes it bothers me that God does this, but I just be like, why you even give me this why do you even give me this gift if this wasn't supposed to be what? But it's all a part of the story.
Yeah.
And
correct.
I look back and I'm like, if I wasn't pursuing photography for a little bit, I wouldn't know X, Y, I wouldn't know this person.
Right.
And if I didn't start styling, I wouldn't have been able to meet this person, and then help this person get into maybe what they're passionate about.
Right.
All the things.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I'm still left and I'm like, so what is it then? And I think that's kind of exactly. So it's like, I think that's kind of where I am now. And I had a conversation with another friend of mine that made something very clear and vivid for me and timely. Because like I just mentioned, I sometimes battle with, well, what am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
Like, what is the thing?
Wow.
You know, because like I mentioned, I all the things that I was doing before, I didn't like how it was. I didn't like being defined as that. Yeah. I didn't like hearing, and I've said this before, where it's like, I didn't like walking into a room and somebody that I not know, or a friend of mine introduced me to somebody that I don't know, and they go, oh, this is Justin, my really good friend. He's a photographer. And I would be like,
I'm not a photographer.
Wait a second, I'm not a photographer.
Yeah, I still get that. Yep.
So, and it would do that with everything.
Yep.
Oh, this is Justin, he's a stylist.
Yep.
Not quite. I
style. Because I don't need that person calling my phone to ask me to do something that I don't want to do.
And the funny thing is like, I could have styled somebody yesterday.
Yeah.
That's not who I am.
Wow.
And like, I was so bothered by it because I was like, what is the thing? Like, what is the thing? Exactly. What am I? And it's funny because I had another conversation and I remember saying to myself, it was on a podcast, I remember saying to myself and my friend who was interviewing me, I don't like being boxed into any one perception of myself.
Correct.
And of what God has called me to do, because I know that can change in any season.
Wow.
So that's why I don't like it. And that's why it doesn't sit well with me. However, I can't then, in the same breath, chase a description of myself.
At all.
Because that's contradictory. That doesn't make sense. Why am I sitting here saying, no, I don't want you to call me that. But then be on social at night being like, that's me. That's supposed to be, am I supposed to be doing that? No, that's not how it works. So to reel it all back in, what a friend of mine said to me literally yesterday.
That's so funny.
He said, bro, it's not about the work. You're called to be who you're called to be. You're called to be Justin.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. That's all you're called to be is Justin.
Yep.
That's it. There's no title, no nothing on top of it. You don't need anything else to help define you to the public, because I define you as who you are, and that's all, and that should be enough.
Yeah.
And he said it to me yesterday, and I was just like, bruh.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, wow, that's helping me so much right now, because
it's not about the title, it's about the calling.
Yes, because even as I was walking back, even as I'm walking back into going into film again, I'm like, do I want to have these conversations with people and sit here and say, yes, oh, I'm Justin, I'm the assistant costume designer. Like, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to have to say that, because that's not how I view myself. But I do know that this is the role that God has me in right now.
It's the role for the season.
And I have to be okay with the role for the season and not be confused that that is who I am for eternity and for what God has called me in for the whole thing.
Oh, yep.
So it's just like, okay, God.
Yep.
Thank you for that. And I'm going to walk into this with a whole different perspective, that this is just who I am for this season.
Yep.
And when the season is done, you could have something new for me, or it could still
yeah,
be
we're going
this,
to talk about this.
Right? Exactly. You're going to have to figure out where I'm going next, because I ain't really trying to... Exactly.
This is not for me.
No, literally. So,
wow.
Yeah, I just like... And I hope that encourages you, because I'm like, that's
Can
where
I tell
I am
you
right
how
now.
I'm so upset we haven't had this conversation earlier.
No,
by
literally.
the way.
There's a time and a season for everything.
Yes.
And we're here for a reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just like, that was just so encouraging to me, and I wanted to like deposit that into you, because I feel and see a lot of similarities between the two of us as we've been diving in and talking more. Because it feels like our journeys are similar, and our outlook and our output is similar.
Absolutely.
And the way that we feel about the work and ourselves is very similar. And there's still so much to be done.
Like, so much.
And some of it's going to be in the work, and some of it's going to be in ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen.
I'm very, very excited for us.
Happen.
That's for sure.
It's going to happen.
That's for sure. Happen. It's a pivot. It's a pivot season.
Absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely.
So. Yeah. But we'll go with the flow of it.
Yeah.
See where God takes us.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
But I think that's all I have for you.
Really?
I think so.
That's it? Conversation over with a bomb.
No, we can keep going.
We can keep going.
If you got something.
I need a check-in.
Yeah.
I need a check-in.
Yeah. And I want
and that's for both of us.
Absolutely.
That's for both of us.
No, it's a good reminder, because
so
I haven't
absolutely
check in. Yeah. No, thank you.
But we got to fill each other's cups too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's what relationships are for, like you mentioned. Yeah. Like, we weren't put on this earth as single people. We were put on this earth with an assignment to commune with one another.
Absolutely.
And that becomes so clear, especially when we're doing things like this, because it's like, wait a second, I'm not the only person that goes to this. And even if we just talk about what we're going through and there is no resolve, at least I am speaking to somebody that understands me, and that even just feels good, you know?
Yeah. And that's what I was just going to say, like, thank you for creating even this moment for me, because it's that speaking out loud, it's speaking to someone about, you know, your current Goliath, your reasoning of what's making that pause for you and why you aren't hitting the notes that you should be hitting in life. And it makes you kind of think, you know, like, I'll definitely go and sit in my car for a second and just decompress and be like, this is your time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a moment from God that needed to be, you know, tapping you on your shoulder.
For sure.
It was a moment from Justin too.
Yeah, I love that. That's sweet. I will ask you one final question, I think.
Okay.
With everything that you are currently experiencing and everything that you have already experienced, how has that shaped your relationship with God?
He is there. He is there. Him and I have, like I said before, a relationship that never stops.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, it's a funny story, actually. So I grew up half Filipino, half Black. My mother was Catholic, raised Catholic. My father was raised Baptist. So there was always that tussle of who was going to get my attention, what weekend, you know, whichever. But I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved being able to see God in two different areas, in two different lights, right? And then high school, which was, again, my hardest point in life.
Same.
When, you know, I had my group of girlfriends, but then was also going through that really tough relationship, I went to him on my own. And it took, you know, my stepfather, who is amazing, an amazing ladder for me to consistently lean on.
Wow.
And I'll never forget being that 17-year-old girl that called him crying and was like, you have a service this Wednesday and I want to go.
Wow.
And my mother wasn't going at the time. Like, you know, my mother was very much a single hot girl who was like, I ain't going to church.
Yeah.
But my stepdad, at the time, he was just a coworker to her.
Wow.
He was the reason. And And I always go back to that moment because in that moment, whether I was scared, whether I was terrified, the church led me to believe that, like, you can have a space where you can be happy and sad and, you know, have every emotion in the world and be able to live in it right here in this house. And so we've always created that safe space. That relationship between him and I is there.
Yeah.
But he be tapping me.
I love that.
Through every decision I make in life, he is there.
Yeah.
So.
No, I definitely I resonate with that for sure. Because high school also was a really, really rough time for me. In so many ways. I was trying to find myself also in a relationship that could have broken me and changed who I am as a man in every single way. And I can only attribute why I am how I am and who I am because of God.
Because of it, yeah.
Because if I didn't, and I didn't seek him out the way that I did until my freshman year of college. But the time wasn't too far apart because my high school experience was its hardest in my senior year, which is wild.
Wow.
So like freshman year, cool, I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm just like this almost nerdy kind of kid that's cool but not cool. Like,
I really have to see Nerdy Justin, you know, but I'm listening.
Like, no, literally, like, I played golf and soccer at an all-black high school that favored basketball and football. My high school was hood, like public school, fights, the whole nine. And I'm playing soccer and golf, like, hey guys, just here. So,
I love this.
Yeah, like, I'll just dive into a little bit because I don't mind telling it because I feel as though I healed from it. And that healing came from me forgiving her. But junior and senior year, I was dating this girl. It was cool. She was like, transfer into school.
Okay.
And our lockers, you know, lockers back at our school were assigned alphabetically.
Okay.
So our lockers were like 2 away from each other.
Okay.
Like I was Boone, she was Booker. So it was like one person in between us, whatever. I was like, oh, she's kind of cute. You know, started flirting all the whole nine. Started dating. Cool. Mind you, in high school, I didn't go to parties. I didn't do any of it. So junior year, I went to homecoming. Like that was the first homecoming I'd been to my whole high school career.
Okay.
So I went to homecoming, whole thing. We were having fun. But I think that's when she realized like I was different because it wasn't just the not going to parties and all that stuff, but it was just like, oh wow, like, because it wasn't just my choice. Like my parents were like, no, you can't do certain things because they knew the school I went to. So they were just like, I don't want you hanging out with these people and all these things.
That's enough.
And to make it worse, she also lived in my neighborhood.
Okay.
So funny enough, my mom didn't like her. Senior year comes around. It's a very traumatic story, but I don't mind telling it. Senior year comes around. And it was, I'm trying to remember the timeline, but it was it was prom. I had gotten in trouble with with my parents, because she was the girl that I had lost my virginity to. And my mom was so upset. Like, why are you having sex? All the things. Why are you having sex? Are you crazy? Like, do you know what you're doing? Da 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 da. And my dad's like, I mean, hey man, you know, proud of you, but you know, we got, you know, I want you to pick and choose and all these things, right? I don't want you to feel bad for doing what you did. And it was funny because I don't know why your parents always feel like they can tell, right? My dad asked me, "You having sex?" And I was just like, I was feeling like, man, I said, "Yeah," and he was like, "All right, word." Like, but anyway, so.
Thanks, you know, Dad.
Right, exactly. Thanks, I think. So, you know, lost my virginity and all that stuff. I was sneaking out with her, all these things, and you know, they found out, and they were really upset with me because it was against my character, which it was. It wasn't because of the girl. It wasn't because of the act. It was because it was so far against my character, and they knew it, and I knew it, but I was fighting it, and I was in a space kind of similar to where I was that I was just telling you about, where I was like, I so desperately was like, not desperately, but I was like so intent on not being who I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I mean, it's high school. I was trying to figure out who I was.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
So this is when it gets hard. We went to prom because I had gotten in trouble with my parents. They were like, you go straight to prom, you come straight home. And I was just like, all right, bro, whatever. So, and they were like, and you're not riding with nobody. Like, it's just you and her.
Okay.
Y'all go do your thing. I'll get you your own limo. I don't care. So
right.
Did the whole time. Go to prom, have a blast. And then it's like, and then she's like, are you going out? Like, what are we doing? And I'm just like, I gotta go home. Like, I ain't got no choice. I gotta go home. And she's like, that's so whack. Like, going off all the things. Mind you, which I don't even know why they do this, but you know, you gotta go back to school after prom for a couple weeks. Yes. Right? So I'm going back to school, and I remember so vividly being in class. I don't remember what class it was. And everybody's just talking. And I can just sense that something's going on that I don't know
it's
about.
You.
And it's about me.
Got it.
So one of my homies comes to my desk and he says, bro, you seen this? I was like, what is that? And it is a video of her having sex with another guy. And
on
everybody,
prom night?
So I didn't know it was prom night at the time, but everybody is talking about it. And mind you, she's my girlfriend. 1.5 years.
I hate her.
It was so in that moment, I was playing it cool. That ain't her. That's not her, bro. Like, what are you showing me? This is not her. This is like, why are you showing me this? It's not her. Bro, everybody's saying it's her. And like all the things, right? Oh. And I'm like, that's not her. Me trying to play cool. Okay. After school, I call her. What is this? Da, 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 da. She's like, it's old. I swear. It's this guy that I used to see. He graduated from our school. So he was graduating and was just circling back, spinning the block, whatever. It's old. Da, 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 da. I'm like, all right, I'll trust you. Mm-hmm. Still all types of distraught. Like, everybody has seen everything part of you, and they're all looking at me. Like, Justin, what you gonna do? So that was the first thing that kind of like cracked me. Yeah. And I was just like, I don't know what to do. And I wanted to trust her because I wanted to be with her and all these things. Then she comes to me like a week later, I want to say. And she says, I need to come over. I'm like, what you mean? I need to come over right now. I need to tell you something. Okay, cool. She comes to me. No, I'm sorry. I took a senior trip and then we weren't talking or whatever. And then I come back home and she's like, where you been? I was like, well, I told you I was on a family trip, like, da da da. And I get back home and I'm like, what's up? Like, what's up? Because I'm mad at her at this point. Like, I don't even want to talk to you. Like, what's up? What happened? She's like, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, what do you mean you're pregnant? What do you mean you're pregnant? She's like, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, and crack 2, boom. I'm just like, there's not a chance.
This was senior year.
I'm 17.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's not a single chance in the world. Everything my mom ever said to me,
out the window.
It's all. Yeah. If you have sex before marriage, you're gonna get a girl pregnant. You know what you're doing, all these things. And I'm just like, oh my God, she said it. And I was losing it. And I was just like, what do you mean you're pregnant? Like, I don't understand. She's like, don't worry. Like, I went to the doctor because I wasn't feeling well and I found out I was pregnant, but like the baby's gone. And I was just like, what do you mean the baby's gone? Like, the baby didn't make it. Like, I didn't do anything. It just wasn't. I was just like, okay. I was like, okay, well, are you okay? All these things. 2 days later, I know this is a long story, but it really is traumatic.
No, please.
2 days later, I get a call, and it's the dude that she was sneaking around with. And he's like, yo, bro, I got to tell you something. And I'm like, nigga, what you calling my phone for? Like, what do you want? And he's like, I just want to be honest with you because I see that you're a good dude. Mm-hmm. And I just need to be real with you. Okay. And I'm like, all right, what's up? And he's like, prom night, she came to my house. We had sex. That video you saw
was prom
night. I sent that to so-and-so to make sure that everybody saw it. Because I want her, it was the most toxic thing I've ever heard in my life. Because I want her And you don't need her, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take that. And I was like, okay, word. All right, word. And then he was like, a whole baby thing. I know she said it was yours, but that was mine. Because I told her I was gonna get her pregnant.
Just the most dramatic.
And broken.
Toxic.
At that point, I am shattered. And I'm just like, are you actually serious right now? My first relationship. Lost my virginity to this girl. A whole 9. Thought it was, obviously, wow. I think like the whole 9. And I'm just like, actually. And he's like,
I have to tell you
we did like the whole thing.
We're the same person.
I go and I held on to it, and I hated her for so long.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, I left for school, and then it was like I was about to leave for school, and I came back, and I seen her at a gas station one time because, again, we lived in the same neighborhood, and I didn't pay her. I didn't even look at her in her direction. She was like, "Hello to you too." Kept moving.
Threw a big gulp at her or something.
Kept moving. Like, nope. And I was so broken from it.
Yeah.
And I held on to it for so long. I didn't even realize it until I got to college. I went to like this Christian school. It's called Eastern University. That's where I met my best friend Aaron. Mm-hmm. And I was in this room with a bunch of friends or whatever. I played soccer at the time, and we were in this room. We were just having a casual time, hanging out, and like I think we were all about to leave. And then somebody was like, "Can we all pray?" And I was like, "Oh, this is a Christian school for real." Like, and I was just like, "Whatever, cool, yeah, sure."
Right.
So we're all in a circle praying, and then like people start praying for me, and it was just like, hold up a second, and I left, like mid-prayer, walked out.
Wow.
And I went to the soccer field because the place where we at was mad close. I went to the soccer field, and I broke down completely, like let go of all of it. I felt God telling me to, like, if I'm gonna be able to move on, I have to forgive. And I have to let go, and I have to and it wasn't just that, but it was like so many things that I was just holding on to. He was like, you have to let go of it, and you have to forgive not only yourself, but you have to forgive her, and you have to forgive yourself for all of it. And I did that. And that was like, that was my moment, similar to yours, where like, you went to your stepdad, and that community and that time was what brought me to just be here with him and just be like, this is it for me. And that was like, but if I didn't go through that, and if I didn't, because that time where I was met with my battle was inconvenient. I wasn't trying to. It was in the middle of 9:30 at night. I wasn't trying to. I'm trying to have a kiki with my friends, listen to music, and keep it moving. Right. And it was so inconvenient that I left. Like, it was so inconvenient that I left. I was like, this is too much. I can't handle it. Yeah. And he still hit me. Yeah. And I just look back on that, and I just like attribute it all, because I'm like, if I didn't go through not the experience of my senior year, but if I didn't go through the healing of it, I don't know who I would be right now. Yeah. Because those are the moments that change people forever.
I don't think people realize how high school in general,
it's so traumatic sometimes.
Such a traumatic.
It's so traumatic
in your life. It's like your heightened memory moment too.
Yes,
it's like
everything.
I remember everything
yes.
that happened in high school.
Yes, my vivid memories start back to middle school, because my middle school was traumatic.
Yeah, same. Actually, same.
My middle school was so traumatic.
Same. I remember my 6th, 7th, and 8th grade year. Yes. Technically junior high for us.
Yes.
And then, that's when things started getting physical.
Exactly.
Things were happening. Your bodies were changing.
Actually,
everything.
All of my pre-sex experiences happened in middle school. I could have lost my virginity in middle school, and I was too scared.
Same. I was the last out of my group to lose mine, and I was 16. That's not late.
No.
That's not late.
It's still young. Like, if you really put it into, knowing what sex is, now
you're like, oh God, I wish I would have waited.
16 years old.
But it is funny that you say that, because going back to like the the first time I ever realized that like God was who I needed to go to wasn't because of like my first time being hurt. I knew that I didn't want to be hurt again the way that I was hurt the first time by going to God the second time. So like, I'll tell you a quick rundown of like the same first love of my life, who I lost my virginity to. The craziest thing happened. He had a twin brother. I can't even say their names, never mind. Almost did. They follow me. But like he had a twin brother, and the brother and I were just the closest people in the world, right? Like you're always close with the brother. Absolutely. It's like, that's my brother, that's my brother. Yeah. And I would never forget that so I lost my virginity, obviously, to my boyfriend at the time. No one knew, right? Like my mom didn't know, obviously no one in my family knew, but my girlfriends all knew, because it was one of those like, I lived in oh my God. And we did like high school parties that we had like a cool kid that had the mom that would pay for like the roller rink and the Four Seasons hotel rooms. Like it was everything that you could imagine in high school. And I, maybe about a month and a half, I don't know the time frame, but like, let's say a few months later, him and his brother were in the quad getting into it. They were arguing just like brothers do. And you remember how it used to be. Like, they start roasting each other. Niggas battling. They doing whatever they're doing. And everybody's like, yo, they going off on each other. Like, you should go to the quad. You should go to the quad. Like, separate them, do whatever. Exactly. And I go out there. And why I went, I don't know. Because at the end of the day, they're fighting. And the brother goes, nah, you should tell her. Tell her. He was like, I don't know what B's doing here. You should tell her. Like, tell her about her virginity. Tell her how you betted on her virginity. In front of everyone. In the school. And it immediately flipped. It immediately flipped from the battle
you trying
being
to save
between
them to then you now
to
trying
what?
to
You did what?
It's such a high school thing too. Oh my God.
It's so traumatizing.
Oh my God.
It's so traumatizing. Guess how much he got?
Right? Literally, like, guess how much he bet on my
guess how much I was worth.
Like, oh my God.
And it was the talk of the school.
Of course.
So I went home that night. I had a single mom at the time. She didn't have a boyfriend. We didn't have Trevor, who's my stepdad now, in my life. And I remember crying, going home, crying, being so broken, being alone. And my mom was at work. And I'll never forget looking at her little rack of vodka bottles. And I took that Sky vodka to the head.
Oh my God.
And I will never forget laying in the bathtub, like just honestly just ripped apart. And I didn't know to call on God. Because in that moment in my life, God wasn't, he wasn't a persona in the household. He just wasn't there.
You didn't know. He wasn't who you knew him to be now. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even still, I will never forget. That's how my mom found out that I lost my virginity, because she came home to me with the shower on, crying, screaming. First time I'd ever drunk. And she just was like, what's happening? What's going on? What are you doing? And it was just the most traumatizing moment for her. And she was like, what happened? And I was like, I lost my virginity to him. And like, he betted on it. And it was I was like, that mother-daughter bond, I never want to experience. I'm kidding.
No, like,
but you know what I mean? Like, so I knew that like the second time it kind of came around with the second boyfriend, it was like,
I'm not
there's someone
that can help me through this.
That can help me through this.
Wow.
And it didn't have to be someone that was right here to hold my hand.
Wow.
It was deeper than that for me.
Wow.
And
That's so good.
I scream for him at times,
Yeah,
man. There are those moments where, like you said, it's like you have those replay moments, whether high school, whether it's traumatizing, whether it's the happiest moments in your life. Like, you go back and you recognize he's there for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because, like, I can now relive, like, those experiences and not feel anything.
Yeah.
Outside of just
we can laugh, kind of.
Yeah, no, and also just like outside of being like, I made it out of that one.
Yeah.
Like, I can confidently say, like, I made it out of that. I don't know what sis is doing. Could care less.
Could care less.
And not in any way, but I know that I made it through and I made it out of it. And it's only because of God. And I think I think similarly for you is like, that's when my relationship with God shifted.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a home where, like, you know, my parents were deacons and all the things. Like, we were in church every weekend. Like, I was in praise and worship, like, all the things.
Yeah, yeah.
But you still have to, like, there comes a moment where you have to make the decision yourself.
For you.
And that was the moment that I was like, you just took all this from me. And I am never leaving your side because I can't carry that anymore. And I can't carry a weight like this ever again.
Ever again.
And what it feels like and reminds me of is like, I can go through whatever and know that I will be taken care of.
Yeah.
You know, and not that I want to go through anything again.
Right.
But knowing that I will go through stuff again, and knowing that I was never designed to carry this weight.
Alone.
Or at all. Like.
Yeah.
He doesn't really want us to carry it.
No, he doesn't.
We have to. He wants us. He allows us to experience it, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to carry it. Because carrying it means you're taking it from the experience and bringing it into a place where it was never designed.
Right.
Experiences are moments. If you're going to carry it, that means you're taking it with you in your journey.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to carry any of it
at all.
Like, it's never been designed that way. He wants us to experience it, live in that moment, grow through it with him, and then keep going.
Move on.
And keep going. And know that you can keep going without it. And if we don't learn to let go of those things, how much damage will it not only do to ourselves, but all of those that we come in contact with?
Right.
The people that I could have destroyed because of what I experienced, if I didn't learn to let go of it, the people that I probably did hurt in some ways.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get into another relationship for a while, but the people that I probably still did hurt in some ways, or even the hurt that I felt for myself, I think that a few of the relationships that I did get into after was me trying to heal myself through these relationships, to tell myself that I am enough, or for somebody to tell me, because that's what I felt. I felt I wasn't enough.
Yeah,
that's all it was. I felt that I wasn't enough.
I could have sworn I was going to commit suicide that night. I didn't care.
Yeah, like
that. I did not care.
Yeah, and I was like, that's where I was. And honestly, to know that I'm healed from that moment, I know that there are still pieces of it that try and resurrect themselves. Because there have been times where I've said to my wife, "But you don't think I'm enough?" She's like, "Hold up, whoever said that to you? Whoever told you that? Why do you keep using that statement?" And it's not until right now that I realize where that comes from. It literally, right? Like
high school.
No, actually, but like I tried to attribute it to so many other things, and it's not until right now in this moment that I realized that's why.
Yeah.
Because in that time in my life, that was the first time I think I ever felt I wasn't enough. Truly.
Yeah.
Sports, yeah, you feel sometimes like, dang, like
competitive.
Exactly. But it's like, dang, I wasn't enough to do this, X, Y, B, whatever. But in a relationship with someone that you're loving on or even in love with, I mean, it's high school, but
you know, soul ties with a person. Yeah.
And all I could tell myself was I wasn't enough. Oof. You had to go and get XYZ from somewhere else. And now I'm left with my own pieces and trying to figure out who I am now.
Yeah.
And what I even want out of this whole thing called life. And I realize and recognize that, like, if God didn't get to me, because I can't even say if I didn't get to God, if God didn't get to me, if I didn't allow him to get to me, because we have control, and we could put blockers up and be like, no. You ain't getting up in this heart right now. And that's why I say it's so important for us to have these moments with him, because he will penetrate us in ways that are going to pull the blinders off of the things that we're trying to ignore.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I didn't allow him to do that in me, I don't know, Justin would be sitting on this couch right now, I'll tell you that much.
That's so real.
Like, so I just, you know, it's all life and it's all the journey, but I think that the most traumatic things that we experience can become the most beautiful things that we experience if we just allow him to work on us.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? And I see so much in you, not knowing you very long and not knowing all of your story.
Yeah.
But just through this conversation, knowing and seeing that he's going to carry you to and carry you through everything that you have in your heart. And it's going to be good.
It'll be for the both of us.
It's going to be good. No, it is. It is. It is. I still got some work to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Thank you for bringing me on.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.
Share a word.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I'm glad that we could reach new depths, not only in our friendship, but in ourselves, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that this conversation at least uncovered a lot for me, and I hope it did the same for you.
Kidding, I want to go in my car and really cry.
And I hope that, like, we just both get to experience God's presence even further because of what he did in this space right here. Because this was all him. We're just two people, but he did this.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm confident in knowing that there's going to be more, and he's going to continue to give and sometimes take, but he's going to continue to give.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what else is coming.
Me too.
Yeah. So.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here.
I cannot. You're the best.